What's up YouTube, it's your boy Mike here from PeoplesChoiceGaming, and today I got an updated guide video for you for 2 Sentinels. It's basically going to be a 1 Sentinel setup. It's a fired up setup that is just straight up all about damage and DPS. Works really well, and if you're just looking for straight, best damage, best offense, you're going to want to go with the Dethcube. The Dethcube and the Deth Machine Rifle just has the better offense, more defense, a little better defense. It's got Vaporize, but you just have to make sure you use the fired up combo with the Deth Machine Rifle, which I'm going to explain all that in the guide. Now you can also use carrier if you care more about farming, but you still want to do decent damage. The Dethcube just pairs up better with its own rifle, as a lot of the Sentinels do pair up a little better with their own guns, like they'll shoot further, change targets faster, stuff like that. Basically, I've already done a guide a while ago. I did carrier and sweeper, I did the Dethcube back a long time ago actually, and I explained priorities and everything, but there's so many new people in the last few months. I am going to quickly go over the priority system. Again, I'm just going to briefly tell you the important stuff that has to do with prioritizing the default mods in the Sentinel, because if you don't put them in the right order, they won't work right. I'm going to explain the whole fired up combo and how you got to have it, and in the end, it just makes for a ridiculous DPS with the Dethcube and his Deth Machine Rifle, or the carrier and the Deth Machine Rifle. Alright, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now we're going to quickly go over the carrier. You want Vacuum first, Guardian second, Striker third, Sanctuary fourth, because it's all about priority. And its priority mainly affects default mods. If the mods aren't in the right priority, the Sentinel will not use them at the right time, they won't go off right, they won't be used enough times. And if you didn't understand what priority meant before I explained it to you now, just don't worry about it. Just make sure you use Vacuum first, or it will not work right. Guardian second, because it's the next most important, and then Striker third, Sanctuary fourth. These two don't have to be in a priority, fired up and coolant leak, so you can use them last. You can also use any other Sentinel mods like extra powers that you like, because they're not default priority powers. Now fired up is you have to have fired up on you for your combo. I'm going to explain fired up last. Sanctuary puts a shield around you when you're reviving enemies. For extra defense, it will get knocked off if too much damage is done to it. Striker just targets enemies and actually makes the Sentinel shoot. Vacuum sucks up mods and stuff. And the Guardian boosts your shield when it runs out. Coolant leak will slow enemies down by kind of freezing them a little bit, but you have to be really close, and it doesn't slow them down that much. So don't worry about coolant leak if you don't have it. It's just an added one for fun. As far as defense mods, don't worry about them. Sentinel has very low stats, and he's only going to be useful up to a certain level, and it's not going to matter if you put super high defense mods in. But you're going to have plenty of points with the reactor. So at least throw in a redirection and a fast deflection, ranked up, a decent amount, and then that's all you need to worry about. Steel fiber and vitality, you don't even need to worry about it. Put it on if you want to, but like I said, none of it's going to make a difference once you get to the higher level enemies. The Sentinels just have too low stats. Now as for the best Sentinel with his rifle, the Deth Machine, that's going to be your Dethcube. You are going to want to use Vaporize first for it to kick in the most and kick in at the right times. Guardian second, Swift Death third, Sanctuary last. Then for the extra mods, Fired Up and Coolant Leak. Or if you don't have coolant leak, use any other power you got. Or if you don't have, or if you have coolant leak and another power, use both. That's fine. Now, fast deflection and redirection once again. And if you still have points left over like me, go ahead and throw in vitality or steel fiber. It's not going to hurt. It's just not going to help enough that it's going to make any difference when the enemies get real high level. Now moving on to the weapon. Very important. You want heavy caliber and serration for your big damage, and heavy caliber, do not rank it up too much, because basically your Sentinel, your Dethcube is going to work from a pretty far distance. The Dethcube with Deth Machine Rifle works very well when they together. You'll shoot from pretty far away. If heavy caliber is up more than like 4 or 5 ranks, you're going to be missing lots of shots. So stick around like 4 or 5 ranks. Serration, I would go up um, like about 3 from the top, and then my elemental combo, the Stormbringer, is 1 below. That's fine though. Just make sure you put the right elemental combo in. I would use the best combo for best all-around damage. So you're going to want to use your best combos on your primary and secondary weapon, like Radiation for Grineer, for most of the time. You can watch another one of my weapon videos too to understand why to use radiation and stuff like that. But radiation, magnetic for corpus, corrosive for infested. So on your sentinel, if you're going up against infested, I would use gas, which is heat and toxin. That's because it'll give you a big bonus against the light infested. And then on your weapon, you're already getting the bonus against the ancients, poison and disruptors with your corrosive, so you're getting an all-around best damage. Now for corpus, just stick with magnetic all across the boards, and for Grineer, go with viral, which is ice and toxin right here. And this is because you're going to be using radiation, which is amazing against bombard, napalm, elite lancers, like if you're doing survival and whatnot. And then all the rest of the guys, your viral is going to give you the best bonus. Plus, well, except for heavy gunners, corrosive will give you the best for that. Plus, your viral is even going to give you more bonus on those elite lancers, napalms, and bombards. So definitely viral for your sentinel. And for the void, I would probably just go with. You're going to be using corrosive. It's just going to depend what you use on your primary and secondary. Which you'll probably use corrosive, and then add an ice mod, because I told you that's the best way to go. So I would just add more magnetic damage on your sentinel. Definitely add magnetic for your voids on your sentinel. Now the biggest thing is you gotta have shred and you gotta have speed trigger. It's very important. Do not worry about any extra damage, trust me, because the way Fired Up works is the more you shoot, the more you rank up to get to your max 60% overheat damage, which is 60% extra damage, which is a ton of damage. It's just like how Serration works. And the faster you're shooting, the faster you're getting up to your max 60%. So not only does shred and speed trigger equal to 90% extra fire rate, which is huge on the Deth Machine Rifle for DPS, but it's also going to make your Fired Up mod work as best as it can. It's going to let you get to the 60% instantly. That's why when I was shooting enemies, you've seen the health go down about halfway continuously, and then from the halfway point, it just went instantly to the end and killed the enemy. That's because the Fired Up was fully to the 60%, and it would take a lot longer if you didn't have speed trigger and shred. Now, also remember, Fired Up is not going to work on the other weapons. It's got to be a continuous firing weapon for it really to work. A semi-automatic, if it shoots fast enough, it'll kind of work, not really. On a sweeper, and won't really work at all. So really, it's only going to be beneficial on your Deth Machine Rifle. And that's basically everything you need to know, guys. You've got to have speed trigger, shred, and Fired Up for this awesome setup. And make sure you follow the priority of your sentinels. It's very important for them to work correctly. And this is still going to be a little bit longer. I'm sorry, guys. I know I told you I'd try to make something shorter, but this is some stuff that you just have to know if you want to be playing the game correctly, and it's very important. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Make sure to check out my Twitch, and please follow me too. Links in the description. Alright, peace.